Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Anerdinwarpaint, Antonio Hernandez, Dragon Matrix 7, Exsellsior, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to the Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous beta. Specifically, Beta 3, the unplanned and final update to the pre-launch beta build, which will give us a slightly more up-to-date glimpse of how the game is shaping up as we head towards that September launch. Now, it did take a bit of doing, but I have more or less recreated our progress from Beta 2, since the saves didn't carry over. I'd say it's about 90% accurate. Though I did have to make some changes. A few were voluntary to optimize our builds for the upcoming mounted combat, but a lot of the other changes were just due to RNG or new bugs that were introduced in Beta 3. While the game does look much prettier, and a lot of things are starting to come together, it is, of course, still a beta, so I should stress that this is not indicative of the final product. The full launch build will hopefully address all of the current issues I am running into. One thing you might notice is that it's very quiet right now, and that is due to one of the more unfortunate bugs, which is that the UI sounds, for whatever reason, a few of them are glitched out right now, so I did have to mute the UI sounds. There's no bipping and bopping as we go through our menus like this, but the background music should kick in at some point. In fact, I think I hear it now. And of course we should still have all the normal sound effects for combat and exploration. It'll just be quiet when we're in the menus like this. Aside from that, there are a few other persistent bugs, some character model glitches and stuff like that, but we're not going to worry about that too much unless they pop up. Then we'll chatter about them. Like I said, that should all hopefully be moot by the time we hit the actual game launch in September. Anyway, as you can see, we are more or less where we left off last time. We're just outside Chili Creek. We just took down that weakened Hydra, met with Jurnog and the twins. So we'll go ahead and pick up here and see what's what. Now, I will note, this time on approach, we did notice something a bit different. We spotted this island with the crashed boat and the skeleton. It was just before the Hydra, and I guess we went right past it last time. So we are going to start by checking this out. See if we can find some clues about what's going on here with the icy rill. And then we will canvass the surrounding countryside, poke around, see if there's any other beasts or clues to investigate. And then we'll scope out the village, see if we can put all the pieces together. Alright, well, I will admit that did not pay off the way I was hoping it would. That was really just a bunch of vendor trash. Alright, let's, we'll just pop around the exterior of the village, see if there's anything else out here of note. Whoops. Sorry. Let me, fix that. Yeah, I will need to be slightly more careful with where we click. I should note, there are actually locations where slaughtering neutral mobs can end up coming back to bite you, so you don't want to just go around slaughtering everything for loot and XP if you can help it, unless you're prepared to live with the consequences. This, however, is much more straightforward.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Nice. Okay, we've got one more. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh, you will notice I subbed Darren back in. So's a nice guy, but I am invested in Darren's character arc. I've actually just started putting thought into our full launch build, because we will be starting over for the full launch, just like we did with Kingmaker. And I left the initial direction up to the Raiders. They actually voted for Trickster. It just barely edged out Lich, so I have to actually go research Trickster now. I have not really done anything with that during the beta. I will miss Creed, but it'll also be nice to play a slightly harder edged character. Someone who's not so squeamish about slaughtering bad guys and the occasional overly rigid and murderous good guy. I'll run. Sorry, had something stuck in my throat there. I will miss Creed and Kaiser, though. I am hoping to sneak another animal companion on my main into the full build. I'm just so used to animal companions. They are great. And I also have to decide on which of our companions we'll be running with. That is one thing I will say the Trickster has over the Lich. The Lich is a fascinating path, and I would have loved to investigate it for the series. But it would also be pretty grimdark. It would be borderline depressing at times. And you would be largely restricted to the special Lich companions, which would rule out all these other fascinating characters that we've met during our travels, as well as additional ones we have yet to meet. With the Trickster path, though, I have a good excuse to use a lot of the more colorful, oddball companions. Wolja, for example, and Nenio. We haven't really done much with Nenio, and I would love to get her more screen time. Darren, probably. Seela seems like a pretty good fit. And then I'm not sure who our fifth would be just yet. I'll have to give that some thought. Ember, maybe? But it should make for a rather entertaining run, if a somewhat irreverent one. Ah, more wolves. Man, they really front-loaded with those plagued Smilos. Those things were legit scary. The wolves, not so much.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Oh, one thing I did change with Creed, Seela, and the Smilos is more teamwork feats. They've all got precise strike. So when they tag team like this, they all do plus 1d6 precision damage. We'll be grabbing Outflank for everyone once we hit level 7 as well. I realized in testing that because of the way flanking works in Wrath and Kingmaker, teamwork feats are a really great investment for a mount and rider, because they'll always be active as long as you're actively riding. Short term for us, that'll amount to an always-on +4 flanking bonus, as well as plus 26 precision damage, and a free attack whenever the mount or rider lands a critical hit. Not too shabby.
Cover me, all right?
It's definitely something I'd like to continue experimenting with once we jump into the full launch run. I might try to work tripping into the mix, so we can do some tandem tripping. I suppose that would necessitate either a leopard or wolf mount.
Out of my sight!
Maybe like a pint-sized pugilist on a pet leopard. There's some possibilities there. Alright, so we're not really finding anything particularly incriminating. The plagued Smilos were a bit odd, but otherwise it's just normal animals. No stashes of hidden corpses or signs of foul play. I suppose it's possible that Chili Creek is just a normal, if eccentric, village on the edge of the world wound, as unlikely as that seems. Okay, that was the mooses. The meese? The moose. Sorry, I don't use the plural form of moose in day-to-day conversation. I am not Canadian. Alright, I guess we're pretty much clear out here. Hey, buddy. That was largely untraversable riverbed. Yeah, let's check out the village proper. Look, the commander's here. Welcome back. Please, stay here for as long as you like. Ah, right, the twins. I think we actually covered all these subjects last time around, except for maybe this one? Not much happens in the village. I'm sure you have a lot going on, and stuff is always happening in the cities and on the front lines. But things are pretty quiet out here. But let's see, what's the latest news on our little village? Well, we went fishing and caught some ruff. They were big, too. Nice and plump. Fat as piglets, I tell ya. What else? Weevils have eaten through our carrots. They gobbled up everything, down to the last stalk. Then, the other day, old Bragg went up to fix his roof and took a hard fall. If it hadn't been for Jernog and his prayers, he'd have kicked the bucket by now, no doubt about that. You must think it's ridiculous to call any of this news. No, I actually find it charming. Also, Jernog is just downright wonderful. I don't know, maybe his prayers are working, or maybe he just has a lucky touch. But whenever he blesses me, I always catch a boatload of fish. Also, he sings like an... Enough already. Markle frowns. Jernog this, Jernog that. It's all I ever hear you talk about. Well, that is kind of interesting. But yeah, I think we've gone through all these other options, so we will be on our way. Safe travels. May you defeat all your enemies. And don't forget, you're always welcome here. I do appreciate that. You know, I really hope these guys don't turn out to be a bunch of secret cultist murderers or something. They really do seem to be quite charming. Fairy Tales of Avestan. Looks to be a very abridged version of the fall of Rovagug, the god of abominations and destruction, or something to that effect. They say the demons in the wound are on the move again. Something's about to happen. Yep, Icy Rill will keep us safe, though. She won't allow any harm to come to us. Still, what do you think is happening? With the demons, I mean. Then what happened? Are we done? Oh, there we go. I don't know, and I don't want to know. You'd be better off asking how many catfish we'll catch this season. Now that's a real question, and a good one, too. As for all that demon stuff, who cares? I caught this pike the other day. It was as big as a crocodile. Wow, I'm actually impressed you even know what a crocodile is. Then again, I suppose when you live on a river, which is infested with hydras, a crocodile is basically like your standard Florida swamp cat. Also, I didn't really highlight it there, but you'll notice they now list your percentage chance of success when picking locks. That's certainly a nice addition. Wow, so we really aren't finding anything incriminating here. I guess you could imply the book about Rovagug might be a bit untoward, but I feel like that would be kind of like accusing someone of being a serial killer because they've got a bunch of true crime books on their bookshelf. Ma'am? Oh, here we go. The Notes of a Traveling Priest, Against the Coven, by Tyron Dean. Well, that is certainly a bit on the nose. Looks like it's something about anise hags. Interesting, interesting. It's a bit lengthy, so we're not going to read through the whole thing, but that might be a clue, maybe? We haven't seen that book anywhere else. That actually does remind me. I think I may have mentioned it before, but I do like reading those books, but at the same time, I see the criticism from people who fear it slows the episodes down too much, and I get that. I think with the launch series, what we'll do is, as we find lore objects like that one, if it's shorter or it seems directly relevant to whatever we're dealing with at that particular moment, then we'll read it for the context. But if it seems to be background fluff or only tangentially related to whatever we're doing, then I'll set it aside and we'll revisit it in special little mini episodes I'll do between the main episodes. You know, and then we'll just sit down and we'll read 5 or 10 books and discuss whatever links they have with the plot or the setting. For the folks who actually do want to delve into all those lore details. I do like the books. I like reading them. You know, I hate to skip them, but I also understand that we don't want it to bog down our forward momentum, as slow and steady as that tends to be. That's just my style. So, you know, I thought that might make an ideal compromise. At any rate, I guess we're pretty much done here. We didn't really find anything particularly alarming. I suspect that Chili Creek is either a red herring or it's one of those plot points that won't really blow up in our faces until much later in the game. That's fine. We've got plenty of other things to keep ourselves busy with. Let's get back to crusading. And welcome back to the campaign map, which, as you can see, has gone through a few nice little visual upgrades. You'll also see we've got a bunch of troop movements going on. I did spend a little extra time bulking up our first legion, though not too much time, because there is now an actual soft time limit in Act 2, linked directly to your Crusade morale. Essentially, the way it works is the longer you drag your feet, the lower your Crusade morale will start to dip, first into the yellow and then into the red. Though you can boost it again by taking out demon armies or demon garrisons. You'll get a small boost for taking out an army, and a large boost if it is specifically an army or garrison between you and Dresden. I actually like it. It does put you under some pressure to continue the march towards Dresden, but at the same time it is very forgiving. You can just time out your clashes whenever you start dipping back into the red. They also made it slightly easier to bulk up your forces and gave you a few more tactical options with the new mercenary system. Though in that particular case, I think that's actually a gift we received from Horgus in exchange for everything we had done for him, which was nice. Each week, a different set of mercenaries will become available in addition to the normal recruits. Unfortunately, our current general is only level 1, so she can only deal with 3 different types of troops at a time. For now, the shield bearers are on the sidelines. At least until she's got another level or 2 under her belt. Speaking of which, let's see if we can go ahead and march on one of these weaker armies. I think this one down here, this level 1 demon army, is actually new in Beta 3. And then meanwhile, we'll have our main party start exploring these unexplored locations we stumbled onto. Starting with Moondance Meadow over here. Oh, nice. But we will do this first. Ah, sheer. Nothing we can't handle? Ooh. Distorted Mythic Shear. Okay, that is slightly more dangerous. Buffs up. Nice. Thank you, Ember. Let's hold, wait for them to come to us. Well, that was an interesting move on your part. So, how'd that work out for you? Take your time, no need for an immediate response. Let's see if the Mythic Shear does the same thing. Oh, okay. I guess we'll just do this the hard way then. Hard is a relative term.
Just die already.
And there we go. Nice and clean. Again, clean is a relative term. We are actually spattered with viscera. I'm sure the Smilos can help with that. Alright, we are now at Moondance Meadow. But before we head in there, let's check in on the legions. They should be recharged by now. And they are. So we just need Legion 3 to hook up with Legion 1, get them combined. Let me just have a quick peek at our resources. Okay. And let's not do that one just yet. Let's start with the small fries down here first. We should have no problem with that one. Ah, and there's another new feature, the auto-resolve. As long as the game detects that you're strong enough to win, it will pitch a proposed victory like this one. But generally speaking, if you know what you're doing, you should be able to get better results with manual control. Plus, of course, we also want to showcase this stuff, obviously. Oh, nice. And look at that. No losses, no wasted infirmary supplies. Not too shabby. The site of an old battle between the Crusaders and demons is still strewn with thousands of corpses. The stench of death hangs thick in the air, while the survivors lurch around the battlefield, looting whatever they can. The dead, after all, won't need their trinkets and keepsakes anytime soon. Plus 1,000 finance points. I feel like they could have made our victory sound a bit more uplifting than that, but sure, we'll take it. Ooh, 27 clerics for 3,000 resources. We're actually pretty close to that. That might be a good investment if we wait a little longer for another resource tick. Or we could take our chances with the RNG and search for a different group of mercenaries. But that can have some highly variable results. Hey, 9 clerics for 1,000 resources. Yes, we will definitely take that. Ah, and then we've got another group of mercenary clerics just waiting to be hired. Though these guys seem to be charging 3 times as much as the previous 2 groups, so, we'll pass, thanks. Let's get these guys out towards Legion 1. We'll have them hook up, and then they can, start pushing towards that level 2 army up north. Oh yeah, that is definitely outside of my comfort zone right now. We'll knock out those easier groups first. Our first legion is currently rank 4, so we should be able to knock out this whole northern branch, and then also that garrison that's blocking the river. Okay, let's flip back over to our main. Moondance Meadow. Here, the druids of old Sargeras, practitioners of the Green Faith, used to perform their sacred nighttime rites, dancing in the silver moonlight and offering up prayers to Mother Nature. Their bones can still be found in the sickly soil of the desecrated meadow, where for many decades one could only hear grunting, dying screams, and the cracking of torn flesh in place of music and laughter. Oh, that's delightful. Well, let's have a look, shall we? first things first, let's go ahead and fire up a modest assortment of buffs. We are somewhat limited without Cam in the party, but we should have enough to get by. There we go. Let us proceed. Looks to be a pretty small map. I think this is actually the... Oh, no. Those are plagued Smilos. Those things tore us up last time. No, no more. 3 is too many. Alright, I believe these things are immune to slumber, so we'll have to go heavier. Well, crud.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
One down. But another one about to tear into us. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Okay, let's knock that one down.
I will see to your demise.
Yeah, we won't be able to drop that one fast enough. More hits, please. I didn't mean you. Layla down. Alright. Let's do this. Nice. Okay. Ember did her part. Now it's up to Creed and Waljev. Fingers crossed. Okay.
Distract them from me.
There we go. Fantastic. Thank you. One more. Not sure we can actually drop it before it gets another action, but let's see what we can do here. Oop, okay. Thought I was close enough, but apparently not. Hang in there, Seela. You've got this. Notice that while you can still move through friendly units, it no longer allows you to end in their space, so no more stacking.
Time to share your treasures.
Okay, let's get Darren back to a safer distance. We'll save that full cure for after.
You won't survive me.
Whew, okay. That could have easily gone south.
I welcome your company.
Let's get that patched, Layla. Good enough. Let's see what we got here. Crafting ingredients. That is something I would like to experiment with in the launch build. We just don't have any crafters in our current party. Cold iron, nice. I believe that is one of the ingredients required by the storyteller to restore various artifacts, like the magic essence in Act 1. Keen composite longbow +2. Wow. We already have Finian on Lan, which is a +1 cold iron ghost touch bow. Situationally better against things like demons or intangible foes. But we could just toss this into a second weapon slot. He has 4 weapon sets, so I mean, there's no reason to lock him down to just one bow. I think we've actually got a bit of environmental storytelling going on here. The torn up, partially consumed demonic critters right near the pack of fatally plagued Smilodons. It's a small thing, but I do appreciate those efforts to add to the overall immersion. I think we're done here. Alright, let's pop down towards the Conundrum Unsolved next. I have been informed that that is actually functional in the current build. Oop, let's go ahead and set up camp real quick. That'll also let the legions reset, so we can have them march further north. You fight demons with such joy. Do you really enjoy their suffering? Pfft, shove that somewhere else. Demons are demons. Why are you sympathizing with them? I do like that they've integrated the camp banter into the Overland map. They haven't fully voiced all of them yet, but I imagine they will by the time we hit launch. Oh, let's check in on the legions. Good to go. We're in the red on overall progress, but that'll clear up once we take out that garrison on the river. Oh, that's not bad at all. Though, once again, I think we're better off doing this manually. Save those infirmary supplies. Wow. Yeah, I think we've got this. Oh, nice. Bonus action from High Morale. And there we go. So fresh and so clean. The traitors who defected to the enemy's side at Canabris are dead. Nerosya expresses its deepest gratitude to the commander. Plus 100 finance points a day. Thank you, Nerosya. Like I said before, it is a bit of a snowball effect. As you rack up more victories, your Legion and overall Crusade will become more powerful. But there will eventually be reason to split up into multiple armies. Once you hit Act 3, I believe you also have to defend key locations. So at that point, you would want separate defensive and expeditionary forces. For now, though, we can obviously get by with just one. Alright, we'll come back to them a bit later. Let's pop back over to the main party. So, I have done a bit of reading on the Conundrum location. It's the first of several locations linked to the Riddle of the Sphinx stretch goal, a series of tile and lever-based puzzles, each of which grants access to special treasures and then a clue to the next location. I have not actually done any of these because they were not fully functional in the previous builds, so this will be my first time really messing with it. Though I did read about how the puzzle works, so I will at least have some general idea of what I'm doing here. Apparently each puzzle does require a special set of tiles, and the tiles themselves are scattered throughout the campaign, so that somewhat gatekeeps exactly when you can solve each puzzle and gain access to the treasures inside. In this case, the first set of tiles came from Topaz Solutions, the mimic-infested alchemist shop from Canabris. Side note, it does feel pretty empty here. I was really expecting to find something outside, but maybe it's still a work in progress. Maybe they're planning to add additional encounters. Or it could be that the puzzle is intended to be the primary focus of each of these optional locations. I could see it going either way. Oh, okay. I am not sure if that is intended. I am starting to get the impression this location is still a work in progress, so maybe we really shouldn't mess around with this. Alright, well let's at least try the tile puzzle. I quick saved on the way in, so I can always just restore if this really does muck things up. This first part looks pretty straightforward, but I don't think we have enough tiles for this. What was the shape? Right. No? Hold on. I think I might have put that in the wrong slot. There we go. Okay, so this first part is very straightforward. We just have to match the shapes. Though, yeah, that would seem to imply we don't have enough tiles to actually solve this puzzle. Okay, well, unless they've got the rest of the tiles stashed in this room, I guess we will come back later. Man, I hope I didn't miss the tiles back in Canabras. Though, like I said, it's also possible this location just isn't finished yet. So, I'll read up on it a bit more. We'll just move on for now. Alright, well, I am not leaving off on that unsatisfying note, so let's push on to the Nightingale Grove. We need to get some rest before we actually go in. Fine, so you ate rats and moss and things like that. Well, once when there was nothing else to eat, my old Gran stole a rotten fish from the market and made a soup with it. What do you make of that, eh? You get that this isn't a competition, right? Oh, Waljiff. And Lan. Quite a pair. Maybe Lan will be my 6th for the launch series. I do like him. Nightingale Grove. This inconspicuous grove near the border of the World Wound is nearly untouched by the foul energies of the abyss. The rare traveler who dares pass through here can enjoy the songs of the nightingales in the trees, only to remember too late that the last birds fled this region long ago. Yes, I can see how that would be somewhat disconcerting. We shall investigate this conundrum. Let's get those buffs back up.
My tail is restless.
This might seem like overkill, but those plague smilers really could have wrecked us if we hadn't prepared for the worst. Okay. What do you have for us, Nightingale Grove? Reveal to us your secrets. I guess we'll head this way first. And immediate dead end. Get your hands off that. It's mine. Yours. Well, watch me. Wait, someone's here. Run! Nobody's running. Draw your weapons and fight, you cowards, or I'll cut you down myself. Then he turned invisible and ran. Now, I might be jumping the gun here, but I believe I have solved the mystery of the ghost nightingales. Not much of a mystery, but on the bright side, I suppose wiping out a pack of murderous marauders makes for a slightly more satisfying close to this episode. Ow. Yeah, let's not have that. Milady Ember, would you please tend to our barbarian friend? Thank you, Ember. Incoming. You call that a bomb? Come on, man. I was actually worried about that. Well, I suppose we can't all be Silverleaf.
Endure this!
Hey, welcome back. I like your hair. Excuse me. Don't stab Kaiser.
Cover me, all right?
24 AC. Okay. See, now we have a problem. Thankfully, I have no shortage of solutions. Darren, you're up. Okay, that is not at all where I was hoping you would appear. See, Darren has a brand new mythic ability they just added in Beta 3, which allows him to instantly teleport to an ally that is under 30 hit points, and then empowers and maximizes the next cure spell they cast. But in this case, because the battlefield's so cluttered, he appears to have instead teleported right into melee combat with the Marauder leader, which is slightly less than ideal. Alright, I think we've all had just about enough of that. Thank you. There we go. Kaiser, why don't you stay put?
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
I think that combat track could use a tighter loop, but not a big deal. Lan, could you do something about this, please? That's a good start. Oh, right. You. Yeah, just hang tight, Geyser. You're fine. As long as he's prone, I think those archers have a -4 to hit him.
The light take you!
Lovely. And it's just you, my friend.
Distract them from me.
Or not? Oh, right, we still have that one archer. And there we go. That was quite an invigorating battle.
Missed me already.
Let's see what that got us. Lighthammer +1, and Momentum. Whenever the wielder of this +2 Lighthammer confirms a critical hit with it, all the members of their party are affected with the equivalent of a haste spell. For 1d3 rounds, wow. I mean, on the one hand, 1d4 damage is pretty trivial, but that haste effect... On the one hand, that's a really nice effect, but on the other hand, you've got a pretty narrow crit range, and of course the weapon's not made of cold iron either, which is very limiting considering the nature of the campaign. But it is a light finesse weapon, so it might be a good match for a dedicated rogue or sneak attacker. There are some possibilities there. Blood Clarity. Whenever the wearer of this Cloak of Resistance +2 lands a killing blow, they gain immunity to mind-affecting conditions for 3 rounds. Not bad. I mean, even just being a +2 Cloak of Resistance is a nice upgrade for us. The extra ability is just icing. I have to assume the rest of this stuff is just going to be vendor trash, because that definitely feels like our main get. We also have some nice stuff on the Alchemist. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So the rest of this scattered loot appears to be minor consumables, crafting ingredients, and actual vendor trash. Magic essence. Very nice. And a lore object. A letter to a noble crusader. Which does seem like it might be relevant, so I guess we should go through it. I hope this letter finds you in good health, Sir Willem. I see now, with great sadness, that you have quite forgotten and abandoned us. It's been 3 years since you visited your native lands, and your father at your family crypt. Last summer, some passers-by broke the lock on it, and spent the night inside. As steward, I installed a new lock and cleaned up all the wreckage. Your servant who went missing, whom you inquired after in your previous letter, has indeed been seen, but at present his precise whereabouts are unknown. He came to us, looked at us with contempt, said something through his teeth, gathered taxes for you, ate a whole goose for free at the tavern, jumped on his horse, and galloped off. If he went missing somewhere on the road, we wouldn't know anything about it. It's been a complete disaster here, even without missing strangers to account for. 7 days ago, all cows gave black milk, and the milkman who tasted it out of drunken stupidity died in the pain of twisted bowels. There is something wrong with the spring. The water stinks of rotten eggs, and the cattle won't drink it. Besides, some scoundrel threw some dead dogs into the closest well, the one on the crossroads, so we've filled it with soil. I expect the demons are giving us trouble any way they can. Our cattle are dying of thirst. Children are going missing in your protected forest. The woodcutters saw some scarecrows which they swore were alive. They spoke of angry faces and bared teeth. They were afraid to get too close and watch them from afar. Frightening things are going on in the woods. I fear that witches and demons have settled in your protected forest to do their wicked mischief. They are probably the ones who picked the bones of your servant who's gone missing, and you ask us as if you suspect us of being involved. As if we could kill and rob an honest man. It's upsetting, Sir Willem. We never touched your servant, and if we did, he was a wretched man, smug and nasty. And we have no food or water, and our children are going missing. Instead of serving your Lady Galfrey, you should be home defending us and bringing us food. You must have some gold, lord that you are. There is no one to protect us beside you. The city lads only come to find new recruits and take our gold. They don't have the authority to do anything more. In the send-off we give our lads and lasses they take. The whole village comes to say farewell, just like it's a funeral. None of them have returned home to the village yet. We are dying. So, I'll tell you the honest truth, Sir Willem. We cannot live like that anymore. But we cannot die in such terrible conditions either. So we agreed with our neighbors to burn down your forest on the next new moon. Your protected forest, where the dark beasts live. We'll surround it, set it on fire from all sides, and hire a wizard to steer the wind. We won't be put off just because the forest is protected, or because no one may shoot game there or enter therein, or cut down its trees. Of course, you'll be very angry at us for burning down your family forest, because we've already been cutting its wood and shooting game there, for there is nothing else to eat and no other wood. We won't let the forest beasts steal our children. If you wish, come and execute me. Execute all of us. But we won't put up with this anymore. That's that. Respectfully, the steward of Vixola Village. To Lord Sir Willem. Goodness, that is quite a letter. Which apparently never reached its intended recipient. Or maybe it did, and his body's scattered here somewhere. I mean, let's be honest, if he set out for the world wound and hasn't been seen in years, then the odds of him still being alive are pretty slim. I'm not sure how relevant that is to this location or to anything we might encounter in the future, but we did get a couple of reference points. Vixola Village and Sir Willem. So in theory, if we encounter either of those things, we'll be happy that we found this letter. All right, we are just over the hour mark, so I think this is a good place to call it. We ran a little long, but that couldn't really be helped. I wasn't going to leave off after not solving the conundrum. We'll hit the pause button for now, but we will pick up here next time as we knock out that garrison on the Selen River and continue on our way to Dresden. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.